Hello YouTube viewers, welcome to my channel Science and Technology. In today's show, Rocket Monday, we're gonna talk about Space News 1704-2026. So let's dive deep into it. So first, the biggest news is Artemis II, and oh my god, this was delays like crazy. Like after a lot of delay, it finally launched, and it launched on a very hilarious day, 1st April 2026, and it landed on 11 April 2026. So this was a long mission, 9-day long mission, and plus 1 hour 30-minute extra. So that's the mission was, and this is the first time human went beyond low Earth orbit after 53 years. The last mission was Apollo 17, if I'm not mistaken. That was in 1972. So this has been a long delay. However, just to add some extra bonus, this was the first time human went this far. As in, this is the furthest. As of now, this record is unbroken. They have traveled far. How far? Well, they have finally reached a point where they can use a unit, light second, 1.36 light second. The Apollo puppies only reached 1.34 light second. So they went far. And they had only one minor issue with toilet, and yes, they had backups in the toilet. Urinal, I think, had malfunction, so they did had backup, and that backup utilized. Other than that, nothing else happened that was of any concern, so to say. Everything was just fine and dandy, all green. Heat shield, that was the main worry point. That performed as expected. This I watched in live, so everything is good, everything is dandy, and some epic photos were taken. Although, let that be very clear, there is one photo that is full of Earth, and people are like, oh, why it looks so crappy, like, you know, Apollo was so good. It's like, A, Apollo took photo in medium format. Second, Apollo took during day. The photos that are coming from here on daytime, that's crisp, that is GG. But the photos that are coming from the night side, you have to understand that if you had taken that from that Hasselblad negative camera, yeah, nothing would have been there, nothing, blank. So because Nikon D9, I think, sorry, yeah, maybe D9 itself. So that puppy, they had ISO boosted up a lot and very long shutters. So of course, there's a lot of ISO noise, but it does work. You can see it. So for what it was, it's mind-boggling. It's just that we are a bit spoiled, so to say. And read, one gentleman from this had a wife that passed away due to cancer, and in her honor, there was a crater that was unnamed. It had some mathematical name or something. So they renamed that crater into Carol, Carroll, in wife's memory. So that was a nice gesture, so to say. Now, let's talk about this puppy, Starship V3. Now they are finally ready. This took time. This was stretched, so this took time, and they are ready for launch. All symbols indicate too that this should happen May. If early May or mid May, they should be able to launch. And target is Ship 39. This puppy went through static fire on 14 April 2026. Everything is good, things are dandy. And Booster 19 did static fire on Mark II launch pad. Be mindful, the earlier launch pad was conjugated together. They're just like bleh. So it was not properly designed. As in, you can see that the first time they fired it, it boomed it. Then they're like, okay, we have to drive some pylons into it. So that was a messy project. And again, that's normal. Mark I is always garbage. Mark II is better. So this is Mark II, clean. Day one, they piled the hell out of it. You should see the under construction photos. They piled the hell out of it. This puppy goes deep, like really deep. So they made sure this is much more robust, much more uniform structure. So the tower and the pad do not deviate. Like, does that deviate in the world? Yes, yes it does. They have actually deviated. This does not. So it's like robust. And you're like, why does it look like the sci-fi kind of panel kind of structure? Speed core. That's the technical name, that technology they are using. It's basically metal form that has structural strength, and then they fill it up with concrete. So it's a reinforced steel shell with concrete inside. Super duper strong, super duper fast. So this is the puppy, and while it may look like just a tunnel, it's a flame trench. They learned the lesson. Thou shall not have rocket exhaust 90 degree. No, 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 no. Thou shall have 45 degree. So this trench is like this. It's gonna flan it out. And they did do static fire testing on it. That was the first time this structure has to handle full YOLO load of this V3 booster. And it held true. Nothing exploded. Everything looked good, so to say. And as of now, they are still planning for suborbital flight of IFT-12. This puppy would be 12th try and it still would be suborbital. They are not risking full orbital. However, according to some people who are saying FAA leaked that IFT-13 request is for orbital system. That numbering is bad, but it will be what it is. Now, this is taking a long time. Why? Well, this is first time they are doing what we call clean sheet design. Everything about this rocket is brand new, meaning if you look the previous 11 attempt, everything was overlapping. Oh, we have this rocket engine, just do another launch and throw it away. Okay, now we have V2 engines. Okay, just throw it away. We're gonna replace it with V3. This is the first time everything is fresh. Okay, what did you learn in all previous 11 launches? Compile all of that and have a fresh design. This is the design. That's why they are taking their sweet time to it. Because if this puppy does not go, yeah, they're gonna open the stock market and just dip from there. So fundamentally, this has to work. And let's see whether it works or not. And how would you know whether you are watching a latest one or not? It will have that hollow ring on the top. That would be the easiest way to validate whether you're looking at the older photos or newer one. Newer one will always have fishnet on the top, so to say. So again, this has to work. This cannot fail. This cannot have, oh, heat tiles are falling or this or that. No, this has to work. And the later licensing that they are asking is literally return to launch site, meaning land this puppy as in stage 2 also. Starship, this one. So let's see how it unfolds. Wish them luck. They need it badly. Otherwise, they will just run on stock market for short duration. Now we talked about New Glenn 3. Although the way the timing has aligned, there may be a good chance, unless you are a member of my channel, you would be watching way too late and this would have already happened, hopefully. So my expectation is that they're going to deploy payload, aka AST satellite, without any hassle. That should happen. Unless something really bad happens, that should be like a done thing. It's like, we're going to launch, this puppy is going to stage, this puppy is going to do light the second stage, it's going to deploy the puppy without any issue. That should happen. It would be really awkward if they land the booster, but the second stage poop the bed. So I don't expect that to happen. But I do expect the payload delivery to happen safely. Everything after that is extra good, so to say. Now, AST Space Mobile Bluebird 7 is the big deal. Why is the big deal? Because that puppy is basically mobile tower in space. Now, you're like, aren't other companies already doing it? No. SpaceX and Apple Mobile, what they are doing is basically very low bandwidth communication via satellites. While SpaceX have satellite numbers, they do not have the design and the technology to do heavy bandwidth. They are saying that they have acquired another company that has the patents for that. That should happen in V3 large as satellite, maybe. But AST day one, that was their whole point. They were not a company that was targeting IoT devices and then switch to mobile phone. No. Day one, mobile phone. So idea is this mobile phone, any Tom, Dick and Harry mobile phone that as long as 5G should be able to directly communicate. And they launched multiple sites. That's why this is number 7. They launched multiple of it. It works. They have done video, voice call and video call on satellite. Okay, then why can't you buy it? Well, they learned it the hard way that they don't want to make mobile phone companies because spectrum licensing will fire missiles at you. So they are like very simple. We have this mobile tower that we are renting. Basically, the mobile tower will go above India. They're like, okay, Indian carrier, which if I'm not mistaken is a VI, Vodafone and Idea combined, they're gonna have partnership with us. So if you are a VI customer, as long as you have mobile network, your mobile network use terrestrial network. You go outside of terrestrial network, this is like, I got you fam. So VI pays them for absolute coverage. So that's how they are taking care of that licensing agreement and government and blah, blah, blah. So this is a big deal. And Bluebird 7 is huge. It's huge. So that's a Bluebird 7. That should happen on 19th April. I might try to do a live stream. It would be a Sunday evening from me. Let's see. And hopefully it will land safely on the ship. And we're going to see bolting. And booster is reused. That's a big deal. They are like literally, this is our first booster that successfully landed. And we're going to reuse this puppy on a paid customer. I'm like, damn. Jeff Bezos is flexing here. It's like, it's almost like Jeff Bezos has enough money to like, bro, we're gonna insure it from my pocket. Don't worry, man. Like, bro, don't. Just don't. That's a big flex. Like, trust me when I say this. That's a big flex. Oh, this reuse this posture. How many times? First time. Have you tested the pipeline? No. This would be third time. What happened the first time? First, boom. So that's a big thing. Although they have changed the engine. Why? Well, they're not throwing away the engines. They're not like, okay, those engines are decommissioned, we're gonna learn from it and then we improve it now. They're gonna reuse that engine. This time, apparently, they had some rapid iteration. They're like, okay, let's test that rapid iteration. Again, very bold. It's like you're mixing two things together. It's like, okay, so let's see. So they're gonna do version, and when I'm making this video, the static fire test has already occurred. So as of now, all things are pointing this should launch unless there is some major issue with hydrogen leak or this methane leak. This should happen, or weather closing it. So let's see, fingers crossed. My expectation is at least satellite deployment should happen. If that does not happen, I'm like, Bezos, bro, you gotta improve. Now we come to the really terrifying part, that is Blue Alchemist. Now be mindful, this is an ancient company, like very old. So the idea is this time humans wants to go to moon and stay. Let that be very clear. Go and stay. So to do that, you have to make things on basically moon itself, because the fastest delivery they can do is 3+ days, and that's assuming a rocket was on the pad with somehow they had a fairing where they can open it up and put some things inside. So yeah, it's not practical. So you have to make your own stuff. Now, what sort of stuff we are talking about? The core stuff that we are talking about here is basically food, water and shelter, those sort of things. So food they're gonna carry, but eventually they're gonna grow their own. And shelter they're gonna build with a lunar regolith. Oxygen, making oxygen, they've cleared the technical milestone of molten regolith electrolysis. They figured it out. They actually did it. This is the video of it. So the idea is they're gonna take the lunar regolith, melt it using electric furnace, if I'm not mistaken, and use electrolysis on it, and voila, you get oxygen. Now here's the funny thing, oxygen is just a byproduct. The technology, as in like a regolith electrolysis, supposed to give you metal, as in all the metals, as in all the metal that is in the regolith will be distilled down for you. So this puppy can start very small scale, meaning it will give you oxygen, to scale up to, yeah, it gives you metal ore. Now, let me be very clear. I do not expect day one they're gonna go like, okay, now we have full metal fabrication. But I could easily see it to becoming something that's like, okay, sheet metal they should be able to get out of it. Like stamp ingot to sheet metal. Once you can have sheet metal, you're good. You're good. You can do things. So, a lot of things. So, again, early stage, but has a massive scaling potential. And actually having the technology, that's a big deal. Now, like, how do we know that this will work? Well, we have the lunar simulink. How do we know that simulink is exactly the same thing? Yeah, Apollo. Apollo brought more than enough of it. And most of the moon is made out of oxygen. Like literally by mass, moon is surprisingly large concentration of oxygen. So silicon oxide, iron oxide and alumina oxide is just oxides. It's just if you take this, mostly is oxygen, just oxygen. So this puppy will give you more than enough oxygen. Now, is there a benefit of that? Yes. That means you can open and close airlocks without too much hassle. Like you can just like, bro, we got this. We good. So that's a good thing. And another aspect is there is no rocket in America's lineup that is actually a lunar rocket. That's the scariest part for America, is that China knows that. And China is like, Long March 10. Why is this rocket? This rocket goes to the moon. The end. So this is too small. Falcon 9 is too small. Falcon Heavy, again, incomplete, and God helps with that fairing expansion. When will that happen? I don't know. And you can see Saturn V, designed for one purpose, go to the moon. So they are like, okay, what if we created something similar? So use the same architecture, same core, same hardware, and just amp it up. So New Glenn 9X4, this puppy will have fatter skirt, and that puppy will have more oomph. And second stage will have 4 engines rather than 2 engines. So what's the benefit? Well, benefit is this is reaching Long March 10 capability, aka 60 to 70 ton to low Earth orbit. Does that matter? Yes, that is enough capability that you can send things to moon. Now, if you know what Chinese are doing, is very simple. 2 launches. Saturn V was single puppy. They're like, that's too expensive. Launch 2 medium-sized rocket rather than 1 super heavy rocket. That's far more cost effective. Even if you're not reusing the second stage, just launch it, throw things on the moon, and just dock there. The end. Problem solved. That's exactly what China is doing. And again, the lander part, they are much further ahead. Now, what about Starship? Starship is fighting against rocket equation. It's gonna lose exactly how Solar Roadway lost, exactly how the Boring Company lost, exactly like Hyperloop lost. You can't fight against physics. It's like, this is your payload. This is what's supposed to go to orbit. This is second stage rocket. Why you are sending the second stage rocket there? Three-stage man, everything has to be in third stage. And that's why, like, even you can see NASA administration asking SpaceX politely, "Brah, please de-risk the system." Translation, stop smoking weed. It sounds good. Oh, we're gonna send this second stage, we're gonna refuel it. It will require bonkers amount of refueling. Bonkers. Not one, not two, not 10, 20, or maybe even more than that. That's not a rocket mission, that's stupidity. So that's why this approach is done. And I'm pretty sure if they get it done, they are saying in 2027. I doubt that it can be done in 2027 unless they have already been building it. So let's assume 2029. I'm pretty sure by the 2035, if it works out, things are decent enough, they're gonna just increase the diameter, and there's like, okay, now we have heavy lift rocket. So they will go from 70 to 100 tons. Second stage reuse, they have some designs. They do have some patents for almost like how Stokes is doing re-entry. They can do that with second. They have the patent. I do not know whether they will use it or not, but they have it. So that is a very long-term thinking. They're like, we can't compete against SpaceX right now on low Earth orbit. That's just not happening. You're gonna get destroyed. But what about Starship? Starship again, great at low Earth orbit, useless at deep space mission simply because there is no payload door. It hasn't been sorted yet. So how the heck you gonna deploy it? I got this. Like habitats, what the habitats have to have? Giant empty volume, big ass habitat. So fundamentally, this whole pipeline that we are building the technology that is needed to run the damn thing, we are building the lander that is needed to land the damn thing, and we are building a launcher that should allow us to do this thing. And be mindful, SLS is now open source, fundamentally speaking, meaning other companies can use it, meaning they can literally put Orion and service module on top of this. This is too weak, that would be powerful enough. And what's the benefit? Launch 2 of this, do exact Chinese mission, and without costing too much money, without requiring boatload of refueling. Oh, this also runs on hydrogen and oxygen. They sorted the oxygen part. Hydrogen is the unknown. Again, moon has everything other than hydrogen. People are assuming it has enough ice. I do not know. But again, I can easily see in the future where it's like, dude, moon has everything. We just import hydrogen from somewhere. I do not know which celestial body can provide you cheap hydrogen, but that would be interesting. It can't be Earth. Earth's gravity well is too deep. It has to be some other moon or something like that. It would be fun. So that's the blue Alchemist part. Very long. Like, that's why Jeff Bezos scares me. It's like the dude has patience. It's like planning the things out for 10 years ahead. I'm like, dang. So let's see what happens with that. Although I'm doubtful about his timeline. Although this should land by 2027. Now we come to Astrolab. Now Astrolab is basically working their ass off to become the lunar partner for NASA. You have to understand that NASA has to beat China without money. Soviet Union, when they got into the race, they had an upper hand. They were bitch slapping America. So America was like, okay, blank check. How much of a blank check? 4% of national budget. That's huge. To give you a current idea, China is about to bitch slap. That bitch slaps could happen as early as 2029. NASA is not getting the budget. And to be fair, it's NASA's own doing. They burnt way too much money. You cannot just say, oh, we opened a telescope for $500 million. It costed $10 billion. Yeah, you can't do that multiple times. That was like to be expected. So that's happening. So this time NASA has to go to the moon, beat China within the time frame, as in before 2029, and do all of that while running on the budget of 0.4%, which might be cut down. So how the heck China has to do that? Well, they utilize the technology of ancient human known as competition. So the whole idea is they were never gonna have single source anymore. It won't be like they built Saturn V using other contractor. No. We need this service, whoever can provide it. For example, basically how US Air Force goes to companies is like, bro, we need a plane that does these things. Build your stuff. We're gonna buy it. Whoever is good. So same thing. Competition. And this time, to make sure that competition is actually utilized, they will have always minimum. Let that be very clear. Their target is minimum 2 suppliers. Minimum, meaning if you made it and your competitor made something that is 10% more expensive, they'll still use it. And that is necessary to make sure that you have multi-competition, or what we call dissimilar redundancy. They're working their ass off to make sure that is an absolute thing. So this is Flexible Logistics and Exploration rover. You have to understand that when you are talking about lunar astronaut, they realized very early on that once they are on the moon, they are in a vacuum. And here's the problem with that. Your suit is pressurized. Even if it's not pressurized to 15 psi, it would be pressurized to 8 or 7 psi or even 9 psi of pure oxygen. Yeah, you are stuck like this. Yeah, doing this is hard. You are literally folding a football. It's brutal, and that's why people say whoever met astronauts and actually handshake with them, their hands are like rock hard, because again, doing this arm is always like this is natural state because of the air pressure. You have to fight it. It's like, and again, air pressure is not coming from outside, it's from the inside out. Outside is 0. You are even at 7 psi. So they learned it the hard way during Apollo, and that's why Apollo rover was so hastily put together. It was not planned for it. It's like, just go now, man. Would you walk? It's like, bro, we're gonna die if we try to do that. If we exert ourselves that much, we're gonna be kaput. So they're like, okay, we're gonna put rovers. This time it's like, we know we're gonna need rover. Let's build some rovers. And this is just one company. So the idea is modular cargo delivery system, meaning this whole central part, it drops out, you move ahead with it. So it's almost like a hollow crane that can deploy things, meaning it can carry people, it can carry solar farms, it can do things, and it also has onboard AI. Let that be very clear. This puppy, you're supposed to tell, I'm here, go to that location, waypoint, it will figure out how to go there. Onboard AI does not need to send data to Earth, process it and receive, no, directly onboard. Now, can we do that? Yes and no. Now, when I say AI, do not expect the ChatGPT level AI. Expect more of what we have on Mars rover, amplified by like 3 or 4x. But don't expect like YOLO. More like Jetson Nano, NVIDIA Jetson Nano, that sort of hardware, turbocharged 2-3 times to make sure that they have enough redundancy against cosmic rays. But again, cosmic rays on lunar surface is lower than what is in deep space. So maybe they have enough faith in that it should work. Let's see. And they're gonna launch this puppy on July 2020, not the full size one, smaller testing dummy, and that will be NASA's CLIP mission. CLIP mission is the same thing. Do everything that Apollo did, but cheaply. As in, test every aspect of the system, fabrics, electronics, robotics, computers, solar systems, everything on a budget. Companies will fight for it, companies will build up the landers, they will fight for it, everybody will fight for everything, and NASA will just keep buying the winners. So that's the whole point. And NASA is gonna need fleets of this. Now this is just one company, and the idea even from their point is like at least 5 to 6 of these has to be needed, and that's early phase. They're gonna need more of them. They had this demo, like physical demo, you can go and see. Oh, and they are working with actual astronaut. It's like, can you actually move in the suit and all that? So people mover to solar farm planters, all of that. So this is the whole difference between China and America's point of view. America already did Apollo. China is doing Apollo, but doing it cost effectively. USA is trying to do lunar system, but with far more sustainability. Basically, it's like, bro, we will only plant the foundation and hope Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk can take it forward. Hope there's more than enough billionaire. But if I'm not mistaken, there are like 3,000 of them. There should be enough of them to pull through. Lay the foundation and they should pull it through. Again, they're hoping for that. So let's see what happens. And once it becomes boring enough, it might happen. Like some people will start to figure out, oh, I can do this. There are so many things you can do on moon that you can't do anywhere else. And you may require be mindful, this is very low radiation. Like deep space is high radiation. This is low radiation. You have celestial sphere shielding you. So there's more than enough research and development and things that you want to store, like best data archive, best seed vault, best so many things that it can become financially viable. Not on day one, let that be clear. That's not a day one thing. That will require cost to drop dramatically. Let's see. So this was my presentation on all the things that are going on right now with space. Hopefully you have liked it, learned from it. In that case, please hit the like button, share it amongst friends. That will help me a lot. If you didn't like it, didn't enjoy it, I urge you to press dislike, press it twice to show me extra disappointment. Please leave a comment because I do try to reply to all of them. Subscribe, press the bell icon if you're free. And as always, thanks for watching.